Welcome to our first video lesson. My name is Megan Speed. I'm going to be your instructor. Quick introduction, I am the group piano coordinator here at the University of Missouri School of Music and Community Music Program. I'm also doing my doctorate in music education here. I have a master's degree in piano pedagogy from the University of Oklahoma, and I have my bachelor's degree from the Petrie School of Music at Commerce College. I've been teaching piano lessons for over a decade, and I'm extremely passionate about teaching private students to bring music into their lives and communities to enhance all of their experiences. So let's go over a little quick introduction of how these video lessons are going to work. So the bulk of the lesson will be going over pages and pieces in our textbook, which is your Faber Adult Piano Adventures book. We'll introduce quite a lot of material in this book each week. The goal is for you to be able to perfect all of this material, but we will also use these same pages in your private lessons to give you a little bit of an extra chance to practice and perfect. Also, you have lifetime access to these videos, so if there are a few pages or pieces that you want to continue working on after this course is over, you will continue to have access to all of these materials. I'll also go over each week just your brief practice assignment, and in your weekly documents will be a short practice chart. That is really for you to use if you want to. It's not necessary. Some people find it really helpful to track how much time they spend practicing. Some people find it really helpful to track which items they practice each week. Some people like doing both. Some people like doing neither. It is really just there as a resource for you. We will also go over any music theory or composition assignments that you might have. Again, I'm not going to grade these or anything, so these are just for you to enhance your learning experience if you wish. So the details of those will be included in your weekly guide document, and I'll also go over briefly what you're going to do in our video. And if there is any listening component to those pages, that will also be included in this video. And then I'll also give a really quick brief introduction to the listening activities that you have available to you this week also. Again, those are optional for you to enhance your learning. There's not going to be a quiz. I would encourage you to listen to the playlist provided, answer a few of the little reflection questions I have, and do more research. The goal with this course and the listening elements is just to introduce you to some great composers of piano music and hopefully show you a little bit of breadth of what musical sounds and compositions are possible on the piano, because it's so much bigger than just Moonlight Sonata and Mozart. There's a whole world out there of amazing piano composers and beautiful music, some of which I'm sure you'll be familiar with, and others that will hopefully be brand new and maybe some new favorites. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, so if you will go ahead and open up your book to page 8, we are going to start by talking about posture at the piano. And this is something that's actually pretty fundamental to being able to play comfortably and easily. And the two most important things for us to consider are bench height. You want your elbows to be pretty much parallel with the top of the keyboard. I call if you're too low, you get a T-Rex arm. Rare do people go too high, but if you have a downward slope on your arms, that's also not good. You want to really have just a nice parallel line there. And then also distance from the keyboard. You can do the Superman test, which is where you put your fists out right in front of you. You don't want to be pressed up against the fallboard of the piano, and you also don't want your hands to be way out here. In most cases, adult students want to sit too close and too low because it feels a little bit more comfortable for us to be sort of hidden away at the keyboard. So if you're not sure if you're doing it quite right, scoot a little bit back and scoot a little bit up if you can. If you don't have an adjustable bench, which I don't either, you can actually sit on a pillow or a rolled up yoga mat or something like that to give yourself a little bit of extra height to make that nice and comfortable. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is our actual hand posture and our finger numbers. So we hold up our hands in front of us like this, the thumb is finger 1. Slightly different from how we might typically refer to our fingers, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So you can practice it a couple of times. It's all right if you maybe want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we start with thumbs 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you will then, you can place your hands on your lap, on the piano keyboard, on the fallboard area. And what I want you to do is just gently scratch the appropriate finger on the key. So try with finger 1, scratch, finger 2, a little scratch, finger 3, finger 4, finger 5. And make sure you're not doing this 2 with your other fingers way up in the air. Try to keep your hand in a nice rounded hand shape with curved fingertips and move each finger individually. Excellent. Okay, so now I'd like for you to take your right hand and starting on any white key of your choice, you're going to play that key with finger 1 3 times, keeping a nice bounce in your wrist. 1, 1. Great. Now you're going to play that same key, remember the key, and move to finger 2. And you're going to do the same exact thing. 2, 2, 2. Now we're going to do finger 3. Same exact way. Move that finger onto that key. 3, 3, 3. 4, 4, 4. And then 5, 5, 5. Excellent. Now we're going to do left hand. Start on any key of your choice and start with finger 1. Play with a nice bounce. Now 2. Now 3. Now 4. Now 5. Excellent job. So if you want to practice this a little bit more, you can do more exercises like this on the keyboard, playing specific notes with specific finger numbers. If you have somebody at home with you, you can have them call out a random number between 1 and 5 and have you hold it up and wiggle your fingers or play notes on the keyboard. You can also practice moving outward from finger 1 to 5 as you play, and also inward. And notice the differences in feeling between playing in different directions and playing with different fingers. So after you feel comfortable with those, let's go ahead and turn the page over to page 10. And we're going to be talking about high and low sounds on the keyboard. And this is a little bit more intuitive for most adult students. High sounds sound high in pitch. Low is the area where we have sounds that are low in pitch. So if we notice on our keyboard, we have 2 different sets of keys. We have the white keys here, the black keys here, and the black keys are grouped into groups of 2s and 3s. So what I would like for you to do is to take your left hand and play all of the groups of 2 black keys from high to low. Let's say that again. I want you to take your left hand. I want you to play the groups of 2 black keys. And I want you to start high and move down low. Okay, let's try it together. Now let's go ahead and take your right hand on a group of 3 black keys and play from low to high. Right hand, 3 black keys, low to high. Let's do it together. Excellent. Very, very nice. So the next item that we are going to learn about is soft and loud sounds on the keyboard. This is one that, again, working with adult students, children often get confused between low and high and soft and loud. But low and high refers to pitch, soft and loud refers to volume. And the terminology that we use in piano is we use Italian words to talk about soft and loud. So our word for soft in Italian is actually piano, it's the name of our instrument, and we abbreviate that as just a P. And our word for loud is forte, which is abbreviated as just an F. If you're curious about why is the piano named the word soft in Italian, it is because the original name of this instrument, when it was invented in 1709, was gravicembalo col piano e forte, which means big harpsichord with loud and soft. The instrument that was most used previous to the piano looked a lot like a piano in terms of the structure of the keys. It was much smaller and it could not differentiate between loud and soft sounds. No matter how hard you played, it could only play one volume. So when the harpsichord maker decided to get a little bit creative, he was able to invent an instrument that was quite a lot bigger and that could play louder and soft, and so he named it as such. So there's your little brief music history lesson. So we're going to go ahead and now look over at page 11. And we are going to play Raindrops for right hand. So we are going to start and end in the middle of the keyboard. And we're going to use right hand. I have a cat also who may invade lessons at various points in time. So we're going to start in the middle of our keyboard and we're going to use right hand finger 2 and 3 together. And we're going to use the groups of 2 black keys going up the keyboard and then back down, stopping in the middle. So we're going to be playing piano or softly, the raindrops. So you're going to be sinking gently into the keys with kind of a slow movement and also not using too much weight from your arm throughout. And then we're also going to press down the damper pedal, which if you have an electric keyboard, it should be the only pedal that you have. And if you have an acoustic piano, it's going to be the pedal that is the furthest on the right. Okay, so let's go ahead and try. So we're going to take right hand, group of 2 black keys with finger 2 and 3, starting in the middle, moving up and then back down. 1, 2, ready, go. Back down. Let's do it one more time, and you can pause the video as long as you need to practice this, and then come back and join us for the second time. Okay, ready, go. Excellent job. So we are now going to move on to Thunder, which is a piece for our left hand. And we're going to be doing essentially the same thing. We're going to start in the middle with our left hand. We're going to move all the way down and then come back up. We're going to play the damper pedal, but this time we're going to play forte to get that really rich, thunderous sound. So you're going to move a little bit more quickly with your arm and also let more of the weight coming from your shoulder, down your elbow, down your wrist to depress the key. So let's go ahead and take that one from the beginning. 1, 2, ready, go. It's pretty fun to do. So go ahead and practice as you need to, and then come back and join us to do it a second time. 1, 2, ready, go. Excellent job. All right, so now I'd like you to pause the video, and the next step is for you to play both the raindrops and thunder, this time using fingers 2, 3, and 4 on the groups of 3 black keys. So you're going to repeat the exact same instructions, except for this time, I'd like for you to play the piece on groups of 3 black keys, starting with raindrops for your right hand and ending with thunder for your left hand. So go ahead and pause the video and practice that. And then we're going to come back and turn our page over to page 12. And we're going to be starting with our first official piece. Congratulations, you're already a pianist after only a few minutes. So the first thing that I would like for you to notice on your page, and one of the most important things to look for as you practice, is the top of each page has a really helpful instructional section, and it also shows you which keys to play with which hand. So never ignore this top part of the page for each piece. A lot of people have questions like, well, where am I supposed to put my hands? Which one am I supposed to do? So easy. Make sure that you always look up here, and it's going to give you a lot of helpful information to get started. I recommend if there's something that is giving you trouble particularly, go ahead and circle it up here so that it helps you remember. So if we look at the top of this page, we can see that we're going to start with our left hand on a group of 2 black keys. And our right hand is going to have finger 1, 2, 3 on the next group of 3 black keys, with finger 5 playing on that bottom note of the higher group of 2 black keys. If you look at it, it's a lot easier than the way that I just explained it. So we found that hand position. So now what we're going to do is also pay attention to, in your music, it shows us going back and forth between left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, and then we go over to the next page. We read music like we read words on a page from left to right, and both hands together make one line of music. So we don't read the right hand part first and then the left hand part. We read that all together as one line. So you're going to follow going left hand, right hand, this line all together, then go down here, then turn the page, going here, and then going here. So something that might be very helpful is to circle your left hand parts and right hand parts. You can use 2 different colors if you find that is a good tool for you to be able to differentiate between which hand is playing when. You can also draw arrows showing that you're going up to right hand or down to left hand. That can also be really helpful depending on what is going to work best for you. Okay, so now that you have your page all marked up with the guidelines that you might need, let's go ahead and take a quick peek at this from the very beginning. So let's go ahead and find that hand position that we found earlier. Left hand 3, 2, with the 2 black keys. Right hand starting on that group of 3. Pinky landing on a group of 2. And what I want you to go ahead and just do is tap through each finger that you have placed down. So play your left hand finger 3, your left hand finger 2, your right hand finger 1, your right hand finger 2, your right hand finger 3, your right hand finger 5. Okay? So we'll go ahead and take a look from the very beginning now. Notice we have the length of space in between each number. Kind of gives us an indication of the rhythm, but they're assuming that this is probably a pretty familiar tune, so you're just going to play it with the rhythm that you already know so well. So let's go ahead and try from the very beginning, and I'm going to say the finger numbers out loud as we go. Okay? 1, 2, 3, ready, go. 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, left hand, 2, 3, 3, right hand, 1, still on our right hand. 3, 5, 5, 3, 1. Left hand, 3, 2. Right hand, 1. Left hand, 2, 3. 3, right hand, 1. 3, 1, 3. 2, 1. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play that melody through one more time for you without saying the finger numbers out loud. And then I want you to pause the video and practice until you feel that you can play this pretty close to perfectly at around that tempo. Okay, so I'll play it through one more time as a demonstration, and then you'll pause and practice. Excellent job. So go ahead and take a moment and practice that through a few times until you feel like you've really nailed it. All right, so now that you've practiced that, we're going to go ahead and add the teacher duet part. So this is going to be me playing an accompaniment to the part that you play. If you think that you have the piece nailed and it's difficult to play with a duet, that's totally normal. A lot of times when we're playing on our own, we don't notice the times that we make little hesitations or little pauses. And when you have another part going on with you, it can bring to the forefront when we have those little inconsistencies. So keep practicing, and practicing with the duet is a great way to add that consistent tempo to your playing. So we're going to go ahead and give this a try. Your first note, that finger 3 with your left hand, comes in before I start my part. So I'm going to count in with a 1, 2, 3, ready, go, and you'll play your left hand 3, 1, and I'll come in when you play your right hand 1. Okay? I'm sure if you play it a couple times, it will make total sense. So let's go ahead and give it a try all together. I'm counting in 1, 2, 3, ready, go. Excellent job. So keep practicing that until you feel like you've got it as well. Then the next step that you can take to practice Amazing Grace is, if you look over at the bottom of page 13, it has a discovery element. And in this book, those are just always ways to deepen what you've just been learning or add a new layer to what you've previously been working on. So you're going to shift your hands and play Amazing Grace on the white keys. So you're just going to move down to the keys that they have right there, which are the white keys right next to the black keys that you played on previously. And you're going to play the piece exactly as written, just with your fingers in this new hand position. So I'll go ahead and play through what it will sound like when you play it on those keys. That way you can check to make sure that you're playing the right notes. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. Excellent. So go ahead and keep working on those pages until you feel like you have it mastered with the duet and also in that new hand position. All right, so next we are going to look over at page 14, and we are introducing some rhythm values on this page. So when we look at these shapes that we have down here at the bottom, the shape of the note, whether it's a filled in circle with a stem, whether it's an open circle with a stem, does it have a dot, does it have no stem, tells us about the duration of the note. How long do we play that note for? So we're going to go ahead and look at these rhythm value exercises that we have on page 14. If you have a metronome, this is a great time to use your metronome. You can also use a metronome app on your phone, and I'll show you exactly which the very best one is. It's called Tonal Energy Tuner. It looks like that one. It's right in the middle right there, TE Tuner. And if you click on this one gives you an opportunity to both check the tune of your instrument. If you have an electric piano, there's not a lot you can do about that, but if you have an acoustic piano, it might let you know whether or not you need to get your instrument tuned. You can also do that if you play any other instruments or sing, and then there's also a great metronome function. So we are going to go ahead and use this in just one moment, but let's introduce first. Our first note value that we have here is the quarter note. This may be familiar to a lot of you from grade school or previous musical experience, but it is a filled-in circle with a stem, and we hold this for 1 count. So we can count our quarter note: 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Our next note value looks exactly like a quarter note, except for it has an open circle, and this one is a half note, and this one is held for 2 counts. So we count it as 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Our next note value is the dotted half note. And when we add a dot to the side of a note, it multiplies that note's value by 1.5. So it adds half the length of the note to itself. Is that too much math for you? It's too much math for me. So for our purposes, it adds 1 count. So the dotted half note gets 3 counts. So the way that they have it demonstrated here is in the context of a 4-beat figure. A lot of times we're going to have groups in 4 beats. So the way that you might hear a dotted half note is as 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. All right, and then our very last note value is a whole note, which is an open circle with no stem coming out of the top. And this one is counted 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. All right, so we're going to go ahead and try playing these note patterns that we have for each note value. So we're going to play this line first, then this line, then this line, then this line with our metronome on. And we're going to do each one of those groups 4 times. So if you have a metronome, well, actually probably don't use a metronome because I'm going to play the metronome and that might create some feedback or something strange. So we're going to set it to 95 so that it's not too fast. All right. It's a great idea to listen to it loop a couple times so you get an idea of the tempo. And we'll go ahead and start. You can use right hand or left hand. And we're going to start with our groups of quarter notes. We're going to play that group, that line, 4 times. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Great job! So if that's a little bit fast, you're obviously welcome to go ahead and pause and practice at a slower tempo, and then join us again and try that again. We're going to go ahead and move on to our half note. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Awesome! So let's go ahead and do our dotted half note figure. So we do a dotted half note paired with a quarter note so that we can keep it in a 4-beat group. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. Perfect. And then we'll go ahead and finish up with our whole notes. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent job. Very, very nice. So I would encourage you to go ahead and practice that a few more times. If you have a metronome app or a regular metronome, you can try this at a variety of different tempos. So the tempo is how fast that click goes. I could set my click down to 75 if I wanted a nice slow pace to practice with. You could also go up to, let's say you wanted to go really fast and take it at 150. That would be pretty speedy. So you can try doing these little exercises at any tempo that you like. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple of flashcard exercises for you to practice. So I'm just going to hold it up and I want you to pause the video on the flashcard and then try to play this rhythm at a moderate pace, whatever a moderate pace for you is. And then I will come back and play how it sounds so that you can kind of check yourself a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and show this up to the camera and you can pause right here. Look at this. You're welcome to clap it, tap it, or play it on your piano keyboard. But here is our first one. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and play this so you can hear. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, awesome. So let's go ahead and do one more. And practice this one, and then I will play for you how this one is going to sound. All right. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent job. So you can go ahead and continue to practice those as many times as you need. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to page 15, and we're going to look at Camp Town races. So if we look right up here at the top, as usual, they have some very helpful guidance for us here. So we have our hand position with our left hand on a group of 3 black keys, our right hand on a group of 2 black keys, and also you can see exactly which finger numbers we are going to use. And then if you also look at the very top, I would have you follow exactly the practice recommendation that they have right here. So you're going to go ahead and close your keyboard lid, or you can just tap on the edge or the side or just wherever. We're going to tap the rhythm of this piece through, and then you're going to practice this song 3 ways. You're going to play the song while saying the finger numbers out loud. Then you're going to play the song saying the counts out loud, so those rhythms. And then you're going to play the song saying the words out loud. And then we're going to do it a 4th way, and we're going to include our teacher duet for the 4th time. So let's go ahead and start by tapping and counting the rhythm all together. And same thing, we read this whole line as 1 line of music, and then the second one is 1 line of music. You can circle the right hand and left hand parts and draw arrows if you need to. You can even write in the counts extra which was written, if that will be helpful for you. So let's go ahead and try it from the very beginning. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, awesome. So go ahead and practice that a few times if you need to. And then we're going to go ahead and find our starting hand position. Left hand on a group of 3 black keys, right hand on a group of 2 black keys. And we're going to play the song through using our finger numbers. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Excellent job. So you guys will get to listen to a lot of my beautiful singing throughout this course. So go ahead and now pause the video, and I want you to practice playing this piece with now saying the rhythm counts aloud, and then lastly playing with the words to the song, the lyrics to the song. And then we're going to join back and play it with the teacher part. All right, so I'll go ahead and count us into the teacher duet, and you can play this several times until you feel like you have it mastered. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, and then I'm also going to do a faster version of the duet in case anybody is a speed demon on the keys and wants to be able to play it with a little bit of a faster accompaniment. So here we go with that one. 1, 2, ready, go. There you go. So you can go ahead and practice playing playing that as many times as you need, and then we'll come back to look over at page 16. All right, so moving right along to page 16. So far, we've mostly been looking at playing on the black keys, and now we're going to go ahead and move on to playing on the white keys. So, on our white keys, each of them has an alphabetical name, and our musical alphabet is much simpler than the regular alphabet because it's only 7 letters: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And they repeat in exactly that pattern, starting from the very lowest part of the piano all the way to the very highest part of the piano. So we're going to go ahead and play through all of the white keys on the piano, saying the names out loud. The very lowest key on the piano is an A, which makes it very easy to start with. So what we're going to do is once you get to around the middle of your piano, where the name of your piano is, we're going to switch from left hand to right hand. So we're going to start with left hand on the low notes and right hand for the high notes. And we're going to go ahead and play through from the very low to the very high, saying those letter names out loud. 1, 2, ready, go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, right hand, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, 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 C. There we go. So you can practice through that a few times if you still need a little bit of work on that. And then we're going to look at our song here called Musical Alphabet Melody. And they show you right here how to locate the note A all on its own. So you're going to look for the group of 3 black keys and then find the A that comes in between those top 2. And you're going to take your right hand and find an A near the middle of the keyboard. And you're going to play with just your finger 3. So you're going to play up the alphabet all the way up to G, and then coming back down. You can circle the half notes here as you need to remember to hold. And then also these little lines with the 2 dots at the end is a repeat sign, which means we just play the whole thing twice. We're going to play it forte the first time or loud, and piano or quietly the second time through. So let's go ahead and try this together once you found your A, and let's take our right hands and play this through. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Hold. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Hold. Repeat. Excellent. So go ahead and practice that and then come back for the teacher part. So we'll go ahead and count in together. 1, 2, don't forget the repeat. Beautiful job. Let's go ahead and look over at our page 17. And we're going to be practicing playing and identifying our groups of C, D, E keys. So if you locate your groups of 2 black keys, the right hand white key notes that come right below those are our group of C, D, E. So you're going to play those keys all together at the same time. And if you need help remembering exactly which notes are, D comes in the middle of the two black keys. They have hey diddle diddle, D's in the middle. A lot of kids I know say that D goes in the doghouse between the two black keys. So once you find those groups of C, D, E, we're going to take our right hand on C, D, E keys and play this one from the very beginning. So we're going to use fingers 2, 3, and 4 to play groups of C, D, E, jumping up each group, going higher on the piano, and then you're going to reverse and go back down, and it says that right in that little corner. And I'll give you a second to think, but what note value, what rhythm value do we have here? It's a whole note. So we're going to play each of these groups for 4 counts. So starting with right hand, let's go ahead and try this from the beginning. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, jump up. 2, 3, jump up. 2, 3, jump up. 2, 3, back down. 2, 3, back down. 2, 3, back down. 2, 3, back down. Excellent job. So I would like for you to go ahead and do the exact same thing with your left hand. Playing this piece, left hand on C, D, E keys. So go ahead and practice that, and then we'll come back for your challenge page for this week. All right, so your practice assignment for this week is to go over and practice all the pages that we talked about today until you feel like you have some mastery of each page. Then your challenge page for this week is to look at page 18 and familiarize yourself with the concept of interval and practice the right hand interval warm-up and the left hand interval warm-up. So I want you to really practice being able to read the instructions on the page and gain the kind of information that you need from each piece of music that it has right here. So figuring out which hand, which fingers, which notes, which rhythm values, etc. Also on your weekly guide document, you'll have a little bit of a practice chart that you are welcome to fill out if you want to and if it's helpful for you, but if not, no need to use that. All right, so for your worksheets and listening this week, the worksheets will typically be virtual worksheets and not on paper. A few of them will be in our book, but for this week, you will have a short packet of rhythm reading exercises, and these are really just for you to use as a warm-up. You can use your metronome and set a few different tempos to see if you can do them slowly and quickly. And then the other one will be some note naming keyboard activities. So you'll be practicing naming those letter names on the keyboard, and that one will have the option for you to set a timer and see how many you can do, just to record your own progress. Again, I'm not going to grade it or anything. Your listening this week is going to be on the composer Chopin, who I'm sure and I hope many of you have heard of. On your weekly guide document, you will have a link to a playlist with a few pieces that I've curated from Chopin's massive catalog of some of his most important and famous piano works. You can, again, this is all completely optional to deepen your learning. You can listen to those pieces, and your questions, and those are in your guide document as well, are what are 5 musical traits that you can identify from these pieces? How are they kind of similar? What can you hear that's sort of the style of Chopin? And which piece is your favorite and why. You're welcome to include musical things. You're welcome to include if it reminds you of a person or a place, or if you have a special connection to a piece. I also encourage you to listen to more pieces by Chopin and find some more of his works that you might love.